Hello guys, Greg back with another video. So if you follow my channel, you'll know that I have a series of videos called Cheap But Good Fragrances. There's actually 9 of those videos now. I've set up a playlist on the channel, so if you want to watch any of those videos, go to the playlist section and you'll find them all listed there. But I really wanted to do more of this type of video. I think everyone likes to find a good value hidden gem. But full reviews do take a long time, so I've decided to do some more brief videos on these good value fragrances where I just say a little bit about each one, and then hopefully I can get about 5 fragrances into each video without the video getting too long. Fragrances aren't necessarily going to be the real cheapest. They are going to be cheap. They'll all be under £30 for 100ml UK price, but they're all going to be great value in relation to what you get for your money. So it's more about bang for buck than just being dirt cheap. So this is going to be part 1. I will have a series of these videos. So I've got the first 5 fragrances to talk about today. Not in any order of preference at all. So the first one we've got is the one you can see here. This is from the house of Mont Blanc, and this is called Starwalker. Now to me this is a really uplifting fragrance. It starts out with mandarin orange and bergamot. Not the sort of most authentic use of those notes, I would say. Doesn't smell as natural as some other fragrances, but it's still really pleasing. It's also got a bamboo note, which is quite unusual that's in this fragrance, particularly at the top of the fragrance. Now I can't say that I really know what bamboo smells like, but I will say that this fragrance does have woods running through its core. It's got quite a synthetic sandalwood note in here. Again, synthetic doesn't necessarily mean bad. It does smell really, really good. And then it's got a decent hit of cedar in here as well. So although I've said it doesn't smell very natural, don't let that put you off. It's a really solid fragrance, and I recommend that you at least sample this. Lasts a long time on my skin as well, although a lot of people say it doesn't on them. So you can pick up a 75ml bottle of this for around £20 in the UK, so really good value. Definitely check that one out. That's Starwalker by Mont Blanc. Next up we've got one from the house of Nikos. I'm going to be careful with this bottle because it doesn't stand very well. This is called Sculpture Pour Homme. Now I don't actually like the first 15 minutes of this fragrance. It smells a little bit like bug spray to me. But you have to persevere, because when it develops it becomes a really, really good scent. I'd describe it as being a masculine white floral. It's supposed to represent the smell of a Mediterranean wind, and that's why you've got this sailboat type shape bottle which doesn't stand up. Now I don't get any of those kind of images when I smell this fragrance. For me it's a semi-sweet aromatic. There's lots of citrus, got lots of tonka, a heavy dose of white florals. It actually bears a strong resemblance to the original 24 fragrance by Scent Story. Not 24 Gold, the one that's just called 24. But this is a much better, much more rounded fragrance than that in my opinion. Good for most of the year, maybe not the really cold months, but apart from that you can wear it all year round. Performance is great, 8 to 12 hours on my skin. Quite a hard fragrance to describe, this one I think, but it's great bang for buck, around £15 for a 100ml bottle in the UK. Let's see if we can get that to stand without breaking. So that's Sculpture Pour Homme. So next up, a real favourite of mine actually, this one. One of the first reviews I ever did was this fragrance. I'll leave a link below in the video description for that full review. But this is called Jaipur Homme, and this is the EDT version, as you can see. There's also an EDP, but I find that one a little bit too overpowering, a little bit cloying, so I much prefer this EDT version. Now this really is an Eastern perfume. It's a true Oriental. It's got some citrus in here. It's got a very sort of powdery vanilla accord, lots of cinnamon, some tonka, cloves, and some florals in here as well. It's a really well blended fragrance. There's a lot of notes in here that I don't usually like, but it's so well blended that none of those notes are overpowering. It all kind of just moulds into this amazing scent. It's probably the fragrance I'd recommend most from all the ones that feature in this video. You can pick up this 100ml bottle for between £20 and £30 in the UK. Always was £20 for many years, but it's kind of taken a bit of a increase recently, but still very cheap even if you're paying £30 for that. So the fourth one we've got, this is an oldie but goodie. One that I very rarely hear talked about. This is called Cacharel Pour Homme. I think it's Cacharel. I've always never known whether it's Sacharel or Cacharel, but we're going to say Cacharel Pour Homme. Now this is a really good it's kind of a nutmeg heavy fragrance. It's woody, it's spicy, very classic smelling, kind of an 80s style, almost fougere like actually. There's a lot of fougere characteristics in this. It's got coniferous notes in here. It's got lavender, vetiver, oak moss. Good all year round fragrance. Lasts about 6 to 8 hours on my skin. This is always in the bargain bins in Debenhams, which is one of the main sort of department stores in the UK. I have no idea why, because it's an excellent fragrance. If you can find it in a bargain bin, you're not going to pay much. Even if you can't find it in a bargain bin, you're only going to pay between £25 and £30 for 100ml of that. So that is Cacharel Pour Homme. And last but definitely not least, we have the fantastic Encre Noir Sport by Lollipop. Now this is such a clever fragrance. I've said it before in a previous video that if you were ever looking at a fragrance that shouldn't or wouldn't have a sports version, it was the original Encre Noir. But this fragrance somehow manages to nail it. It keeps that earthy, inky vetiver that you get in Encre Noir, but it manages to brighten it up and make it into a citrus, aquatic fragrance. Works great in the heat. It's the ultimate juxtaposition in a fragrance, this one. Performs superbly as well, lasts all day on my skin, and you can look to pay less than £30 for 100ml in the UK for this, which is crazy value for what you get. So there you go guys, hope you enjoyed the video. There will be, as I said, more instalments of this video to come, and lots more content as well coming up on the channel. Please leave a comment below if you can think of any other great value fragrances. Please leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do. Many thanks. Guys, if you are in the UK and you want to sample any of the fragrances featured in this video, you can purchase them from my online store, which is fragrancesamplesuk.com. If you're outside of the UK and you want to purchase samples of any of these fragrances, you can email me at info@fragrancesamplesuk.com. Thank you.